How did I come in contact with God? Did he come in a dream to build his temple? And what is your next step? These are just incredible, moving questions, you know. Some people come to me, they say, oh, I've been meditating 30 years. I've been meditating 60 years. I've been meditating my whole life. That's nothing. It's something, but it's a very small thing. Your evolution is measured in lifetimes. How many lifetimes? 30, 60 years, that's a life very well lived. Very well lived. But lifetime after lifetime. What some Buddhist monk said that if you have a bird and you put a veil in his beak and he flies over the top of a mountain and the veil just brushes the top of the mountain and knocks a little of the dust off the top of the mountain, the number of the times that bird has to fly back and forth over the mountain to make it flat, that's how many incarnations it takes to get enlightened. Now, that's the bad news. The good news is that look where you are. Right across the street from God. That means you've lived many lifetimes in devotion to God. Many lifetimes in pursuit of knowledge. Many lifetimes of gravitation. It's just like gravity. Remember, the rain naturally goes back to the ocean. And the closer it gets to the ocean, the stronger the pull. You see? I felt the pull. That's the answer to this question. It's not a dream. I felt the pull. And the pull came to me, even as a small child, I want knowledge. I don't care what I learn. I just want the truth. So I started out studying physics and math. I thought these are the guys really searching truth. I started with philosophy, but those guys are just, daydreamers. But I thought the mathematicians, the scientists, they're out there trying to get the answers. And I realized when I remember when I realized that they're not the ones with the answers. They don't have it all. They have good knowledge, but they don't have it all. And so that was for me like a dark night of the soul. And I thought, what do I know? What do I really know? And I came to some conclusions. And then just as fate has it, I met somebody when I rented a room, and I was in college, and I rented a room in a rooming house, and I met this guy in the kitchen first day. For no good reason, I started telling him what I knew. And he said, if you care about that stuff, he said, you should just go study with the Indian gurus. They know all about that. I jumped up. But see, I told him, this is interesting. I told him somewhere out there have to be a group of people that know this because it's truth. That's an interesting logic, huh? And he said, the Indian gurus. I was so excited. I jumped up on him. I said, I thought it would take me years to find them. And that was it. 3 months later, I was at Maharshi's feet, and he's been my master to this day and will forever be, And he taught me. He was a very wise man, had real knowledge. And so I remember it was in 1981, 82, where I was living in the ashram and somebody told me that there's such thing as an enlightened city. They talk about it in the Vedas. And it just stuck with me. And I thought, someday I want to build an enlightened city. It's a place where people come and just by living there, they gain moksha, they gain enlightenment. One thing led to the next, and then that's what we're doing here. And I think they said, what is your next step? The next step is to continue building this. We're going to build more temples, and we're going to do it in complete observation of the Shastras. We just recently had SK. SK has been a devotee of Ganapati Stapati, the Stapati. Since he was a small boy, he was with Ganapati. Now he is a Stapati. And he came here. And we told him our plans, and we sat, and we looked at the plans and everything together. He was almost in tears. He was so moved. And I'll tell you this. It's hard for me to believe, but he insisted. He said, there's nowhere like that anywhere in the world. And I said, what do you mean? I said, Tirupati, Rameshwaram, these, I've been there, as many of you have, and it's just incredible, and the Shakti and everything. He said, no. He said, it can be more. It can be 100% consistent with the Shastras. Now, it scares me to even say that, because who am I, but this is not me saying it, it's the Stapati, okay? And so we're going to do that. We're going to build an enlightened city that's completely in harmony with the Shastras, completely in harmony with Stapatya Ved, you see? And that's my answer to the question. If I said anything else, I wouldn't be honest, And I don't mean to sound arrogant about it, quite the opposite, because I don't know. We turn to the Vedic scholars. We turn to the Stapatis. How do we do this? We turn to Panditji, the pundits who've learned the Vedic recitations, learned the pujas. I don't know that. I turn to them for that, you see. What I know is that quiet place deep within my being. And I come from there. And then I find the people who have the knowledge to structure that on the surface of life for all humanity, you see.